The quality of our lives is dependent on the quality of our habits. Now, people are achieving unimaginable things and success as a consequence of the habits they've decided to commit to and embed in their daily lives. And I think that's why I find the topic of habits so interesting, because I think that we look to people who achieve success and who are one of the greats, whether that's like Bill Gates or Usain Bolt or Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins, and we just think that, that they were just born great, that that's just how they were, it was part of their DNA. And I think we also use that as a reason as to why we can't achieve that kind of level of success, is because that's not part of our makeup. And it's time that we realise that is 100% a self-limiting belief and is utter bullshit. You too have the power within you to become one of the greats. And I think so often we focus on the end result and just see things as an overnight success. Well, I've got news for you. No one, and I mean no one, is an overnight success. It takes years and years of commitment and practice and constant tweaking and embedding new habits and overcoming struggles. And that's how you become great, not because you were born great, but because you commit yourself to these habits and rituals that make you great. Now, Usain Bolt, I'm sure everyone knows who he is an incredible athlete. And he has a really powerful quote that I want to read to you. He says, "I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds, and people give up when they don't see results in 2 months." Now, I want you to let that quote sink in for a moment. It took him 4 years to run 9 seconds, and people give up when they don't see results in 2 months. Now, how many of us are guilty of giving up something that we so wanted as a result of not having that immediate success? I mean, I, for one, can absolutely put my hand up. There's been many times where I wanted to lose weight. I've committed to a new diet, and I'll eat loads of healthy food, and I'll go to the gym that day, and then the next day I jump on the scales, no change. I'm like, well, why have I not lost a few pounds at least? And obviously, we're not going to achieve groundbreaking things overnight. It takes consistent incremental changes to kind of see that change come about. And I think our world is used to everything that's just so immediate and at the click of a button. So, before when you'd have a really good series that you wanted to watch, you'd have to wait the next week to find out what happens. And now, because of Netflix, you can literally binge watch an entire series. And I think, yes, sometimes that's great, but really that's kind of destroying our power and our ability to do great things and see what we're really capable of. And so what I want us to do is to burn that narrative, and let's not settle for easy, for immediate results where we achieve mediocre at best. And why don't we now instead focus on the endless possibilities that's available to us and the evidence that the greats are just like us, and that we too can achieve greatness and live a life beyond our wildest dreams? Because I guarantee you that the people that you aspire to be like, or that have literally changed our world, they never ever could have imagined the success that they now have. And that wasn't achieved overnight. Again, these things happened for years and years without anyone even noticing them or knowing their name. And I think that's why I'm so excited and I'm so interested in the topic of habits, because once you start to master this and you start making these incremental changes, the possibilities are endless. And that's why I'm so excited. And, also one of the reasons why I decided to use this month as the topic for habits in terms of reading and getting all that knowledge, because, that is the thing that's going to create that transformation. So I've now completed the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And Oops. And today I just wanted to kind of summarize the main things that I've kind of taken away from the book. Because again, like I want to share all the knowledge that I'm getting. And also I do encourage you to read the book, because obviously there's only so much that I can give you in like a 10-minute video. So definitely do that. And then also one of the things I'm also thinking about is, you know, perhaps doing like a podcast, just summarizing kind of the key points I'm taking away from the books that I'm reading, but also going into it at a high level and also providing you with the actions that you can take away as well. So I will let you know when that starts happening. But for now, I've got some top tips that I want to share with you. So the first one is about making small changes. Small changes in behaviour can lead to like big results over time. And I think that changes that seem so small and insignificant and unimportant at first will actually compound into remarkable results. And if you're willing to stick to them over the next like years, like the things that you can do in your lifetime are just amazing, like beyond anything you can possibly imagine. So get rid of the overwhelm and thinking that you have to do like massive action, when actually you just have to make these small changes in your day-to-day that will bring about such incredible change. The second is focusing on your systems, not your goals. So he says that goals are good for setting direction, but systems are better for making progress. So it's very easy to, you know, sit on your journal and write down like what you want your goals to be. But it's all about the systems that we use to kind of enable us to get to those goals and helping us in achieving them and making things as easy as possible to make those things happen. So I want you to start thinking about the systems that you have in place that will kind of, all that you want to create, that will start supporting you with the goals that you want to be able to achieve. And the third is creating an environment that supports your goals. So that's all about making it easier to do what you want to do and harder to do what you don't want to do. So making it less inconvenient. So for example, some of the things that I do is I don't have cookies and crisps like in my house. So that when I have a moment of weakness, I don't just go into my kitchen and give myself like loads of like bad food, and which ultimately doesn't make me feel great and doesn't help with my goal of losing weight. And if I did want to get that food, I'd have to go to the shop, so I make it really inconvenient for myself. So I have a very, very low chance of eating those kind of things. And then one of the other things I do is I have a separate bank account for my savings. So I started to notice that I would just dip in and out of my savings. It was very easy to transfer money at the click of a button. And then what I thought I'd saved at the end of the month was just like dwindled down to hardly anything, because, you know, it was just a habit that I got into that wasn't serving me. So again, I've decided to break that and make it more inconvenient to be able to do that. And as a result, it means that my savings are way more where I want them to be, and I'm not dipping in and out because it's just a nightmare for me to do that. And other things are like leaving my yoga mat by my front door and like having my bag packed ready for the gym the next day. So start thinking about the things that you can kind of put in place to set you up for success and making it harder to like do the things that don't set you up for what you want to do and achieve. And the fourth is habit stacking. So this is a really interesting one. This is where you like link your new habits to existing ones to kind of make them easier to adopt. So that's why it's really essential for you to like do a like habit audit where you go through and you see like what habits are working for you, and then think about the habits that you want to add into your daily life. And another thing is where you want to do habits that are much tougher or not as enjoyable, but essentially you need to like embed them into your life. Again, link it to something that you really enjoy. So for example, I hate cold calling. I'm not a fan of it in the slightest, but unfortunately it's like part of my job. And so what I do is I dedicate time to make my calls, and I link it to something that I find really enjoyable. So I really enjoy yoga. So what I'll do is I'll make my calls, and at the end I will reward myself with 10-15 minutes of doing like a yoga session. So again, it helps me to be able to achieve those certain things and embed those habits. And before I know it, those things will start to become automatic for me. And another thing in terms of like the more mundane things that we do every day is like brushing my teeth. So when I brush my teeth, is drinking a glass of water straight afterwards. Or, you know, if you have your morning coffee, just take 15 minutes afterwards and go for a walk, get some fresh air. So start thinking about the things that you can start doing to make your life easier, because again, like, we're not trying to make things so difficult and make it so overwhelming that you never get your foot off the ground. This is all about embedding these things that make a huge difference over time, and also that they don't have to be hard and challenging. That actually, you know, when you spend some time to think about how you can make it easy, things just become so much easier. And isn't that kind of what we want? So I really encourage you to think about the things that I've just shared with you and start embedding it and thinking about the habits that are going to yield the best results, and stop thinking about the immediate gratification and think about the longer term and what it is that you are truly capable of and have the potential to do, because so many of us don't tap into that because, you know, of the things that are so convenient for us, and we just settle for mediocre when really we can live a life that's so inspiring and be one of the greats that achieve unimaginable success and do incredible things with our lives. So I hope you found today really inspiring, and it's really getting you to think about those things. And also, like, it's challenging your beliefs that you currently have, because again, that's what we want to do. We want to raise your standards of what's possible and getting you to feel truly alive and start thriving, and start dreaming and looking at these people as evidence that you too have everything within your power to make these things happen. So I just want to thank you for watching today's video, and I'm sending you so much love and so much blessings. I hope you have an incredible day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, and I will see you soon.